Welcome to Sibling Rivalry, presented by AML Media. Today's question
Is this cool?
The format will go as follows. Each person will state their case, then present their counter arguments and closing statements. The score will be tallied to determine a winner. Judging will be based on supporting evidence, delivery, persuasiveness, rebuttal, and closing statements. First up, we have Jean. Jean, what side will you be arguing today?
This is cool.
Okay. I will start your timer now.
Okay. This is created solely out of Legos. All right. It's Thor's hammer. It stands almost 2 feet tall. It's got an impressive weight to it. It's made up over 1,300 pieces. It took me about 7 or 8 hours to make. Once again, it's solely made out of Legos. Just the fact that you can pick this hammer up and it doesn't break into pieces is engineering at its best.
Something just fell off.
No, it didn't. It's supposed to do that. Not to mention just the detail that goes into this thing. It's even got a strap that is on Thor's hammer. And it's hard to pronounce, but the hammer's called Mjolnir. For all people out there that know the Marvel world will know this hammer very fondly. It even has some pieces that are related to the movie on it. It's got Thanos' glove and 2 other things that I don't know what they are. But it's even got a miniature Thor holding a hammer, and his cape even moves. Okay, so the fact that you don't think this thing is cool, I think, is just a little bit of jealousy that you don't have one of these at your place. Also, let me just add in there how much fun I had building this, how much satisfaction I got out of building this handle. Putting those pieces on there was almost a sexual experience. It went quick, but not too quick. The thing is just, it's the way it is put together is very impressive. It's even got the head of the hammer is somewhat hollow, so you can put things in there secretively. So if I was a teenager, I could use this as my weed stash. Alrighty. And then just, on top of it, it's got good color to it. It matches very well. As far as size goes, I have an actual Halloween costume piece that is the hammer, and this is about the same size. So to scale, it's awesome. To weight, it's awesome. And they even just a little bit of details of the blue lightning Legos that reflect the light, that because he is the God of Thunder. So right there, I have God of Thunder's hammer on my table to podcast. Boom, that's cool.
Okay. Let me reset the timer. Steven, you can go ahead now.
Okay, so I love the fact that you enjoyed putting this thing together. Okay, so I'm supportive in the venture. But it's not cool as a display. It's just not. And I'm somebody who appreciates the Lego toy as a good toy. But I'm kind of anti-sets because how much creativity does it take just to put something together that's pre-made? A piece fell off here when you picked it up, which has to be part of the video. Okay, don't cut that. There's a loose rubber band just sitting here.
That was added later.
Quite frankly, it's disappointing, in my opinion, because it's pretty bland looking. There's no jewels or encrusted somethings. It's just boring, quite frankly. I've never even seen the Thor movies. I don't give 2 shits about Thor. I think, quite frankly, you're too old to be putting this thing on display. Again, love the activity. Glad you enjoyed it. I remember you saying you actually had to pace yourself because you didn't want to put it together too quickly. But you also butchered the name of it. It's something like Mjolnir, but you threw like a U and A in there, so you didn't even know its name. These little blue lights, if the camera even picks them up, like really, that's the accents. There's no yellow, or it's kind of dull to look at. And when we were coming down here to record the podcast, like you confidently put that in the middle of the table as if we should do a podcast with that on the table. And like I kind of stated, like, since it's an amateur podcast, I guess we can put that there. But if the argument is this cool or not? I mean, if you're a diehard Thor person, maybe, but it's not even exciting to look at. Like, I'm assuming the camera can pick up the whole thing. It's just a gray box with some dudes on top. Like, this guy has a cape, so that's Thor. It's just not. I'm sorry. As your older brother, cool is a very strong description of what this thing is. The coolest part about it is this little tassel, which isn't even Lego. It's just a piece of synthetic rubber or something. I mean, no gems, no accents, no highlights, no flames. Sorry, man. It's just boring as far as hammers go. I love you, and that will always be true, but I can't get on board with this. That's all I have.
Okay. Time for rebuttals. I will start the timer for Jean now.
Let's start from reverse. As far as hammers go, it's one of the coolest hammers out there. What, a fucking a Husqvarna hammer is cooler than Thor's hammer? And let's just start, go back to, you didn't even see the movies. So to say, why isn't there yellow? Because Thor's lightning is blue because it's the strongest of the lightning. Am I too old? The box says 8 or 12 years and older, so I fit directly in that category. Technically not too old. Also, there's no gems on it. This isn't a video game, Steven. There's no add-ons. The hammer's so heavy no one else can pick it up except for those who are chosen. If this thing had blue and purple and green gems on it, I'd be like, that's lame. Someone's gluing gems onto Thor's hammer. The thing is, it's supposed to be simple and basic. This isn't a Nordic god. If he had little gemstones on it, I'd be like, that's lame as shit. And also, did a piece fall off? Yes, because the base, it has to hold up this massive Lego unit. And these little things on here aren't supposed to be put on there. They're supposed to just kind of, it's like an add-on, a feature that you actually can put inside the hammer so you don't lose them. I just put them on there because I wanted to display it. And it was already on the table. I didn't just put it on here. I finished it last night. It's freaking cool. As far as hammers go, it's awesome cool. And then as far as just lore, Nordic gods, dude, right there is enough. This is a Nordic gods hammer that I created out of Legos and put on there. I'll give you, does it take away the creativity? We're both in agreement there. But there is something that feels good about following the directions, seeing it through. But does it take away the creativity? Yes, it does. But it was a lot of fun to put together. And I can't believe that you're insulting Thor's hammer. And I was actually not that far off on the name. It's hard. The name's hard, but I actually wasn't that far off of it because it is a weird Nordic word. I'll rest my case.
Okay, with 10 seconds left, I'll reset the timer, and Steven, you can go ahead now.
Okay. So I love the activity. I want to put that out there again. I don't have a problem with you putting it together, but it's just kind of boring, man. Why wouldn't there be gems and highlights on the hammer? It's a god's hammer. Only he can wield it. It should be flashy. It should have spinners on it, dude. It doesn't. And like your argument that as far as hammers go, you can't do a whole lot better. I'd like to point out for the crowd, it's not a hammer. It's Legos. You know, it's not a molded. It has no steel or iron involved. It's just a gray box with a handle made out of Legos on it. And, you know, I know a lot of people like the Thor movies, and I'm not anti-Nordic mythology. Not at all. But when you go towards the toy range, I mean, how cool are toys after, you know, a certain period of your life? Again, love the activity. It's not a good display piece. It's putting me to sleep. But I love you.
Okay, time for closing statements. Let me reset the timer. 1 minute each. Gene, you can go ahead now.
I'm just going to stick with this, the one comment, because I think everything else I've knocked it out of the park. There's cool toys. And to say toys after a certain age makes you sound a little cynical. Not going to lie. All right. It sounds like your toys got taken away from you too soon is what that sounds like to me. Because I guarantee there's some toys out there that you would be, turn off the lights and not tell anybody, let's play this for days and not let anyone know. Coming from someone who still loves video games and loves the world of, make-believe and fucking swords and hammers and axes and stuff. So, and you said it's not a hammer, it's Legos. Wrong. It was Legos that are now a hammer. Boom.
Okay. Steven, you can go ahead now.
You're right that I really enjoy video games and in certain lore and, Lord of the Rings type of fantasy setting type stuff. But that's why I'm let down by this piece here. As a spectacle for people to view, it's just boring. You're right. Like, I do like this kind of shit. Not Legos, but the whole fantasy setting, Warhammers, whatever. But it just doesn't do anything for me visually. And as far as I was concerned, the debate was kind of like, is putting this on display cool? And I don't think it is. But I want to congratulate you on finishing the project. And look here, just pieces laying, no color accents, just a few blue clear Legos with a gray boring display.
Thor's upside down. Hanging on.
Okay. We'll tally the scores now. Okay, the scores are in.
Tally ho.
And
Cheers, dude.
Steven's a hater and Gene's the winner.
That was a hard one to go against, okay? Because I will say Rachel loves Thor, but I'll say this to the people: this isn't going to be the forever display. If you notice, we like to change the displays up, because it's almost I'll give you, it's almost obnoxiously big on the table. But it's a cool piece.
I feel like Rachel held against me that I was being anti-Thor, but I'm not being anti-Thor.
I did not.
I'll just say before you give out the points, I don't drink coffee much. I made sure I got coffee in me, so I was energetic for this one. I'm a little hyped up.
Okay.
But go ahead, break us down those points.
So I have Steven with 16 and Jean with 18. I thought that Jean presented with a lot more passion, while Steven focused more on the fact that he didn't watch the movies and he thought it was boring.
That's fair. That was my argument, and I feel maybe I didn't have enough passion because I'm sure, positive that it's not that cool. But it's a matter of opinion. See, last week's episode, I felt like I had to stand on a hill and defend a fact, so it hurt to lose because I felt as though scientifically I was correct. But it's a debate show.
That's what makes Sibling Rivalry cool, because sometimes there is facts, sometimes it is just opinion. That's the world we live in, so it is nice to have a mixture. This one was a little bit more fun. We like to have a balance. Last week there was a lot of science in there. You're still wrong. You were still wrong about it, but just so you know, off camera, we're still brothers and love each other, even though he stormed off last week.
I was fine. I thought that was pretty.
He had to get a cigarette in him.
I thought it was entertaining.
After he got a couple tokes of a heater in him, he was okay.
I feel like if I was watching a debate show, like I want to see passion.
There was passion last week. I had passion for this. I had a pent up passion for this thing, and I'm gonna continue. I thank you for tipping your hat, saying you support my hobby, because it's nice keeping those hands moving, doing something.
Devil's Playground is idle hands, right?
Yeah. But that'll do it for us. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been Sibling Rivalry. I think I have one more win up on you, so next week you have to come back, scratching and clawing, get that tied up. I'm Gene Labordi. This is Stephen Labordi. Rachel doing all the hard work.
Go Birds.
Go Birds, and have a good Sunday. Let's figure out what we're going to do for dinner.